Back mean true story. All stories ain't true. Today we're gonna talk about how BlueBoy met NayBoy, aka the Guyzer, for the prison interviews that they had. You know what I'm saying? NayBoy, he just hit me just now. He about to pull up. You know, anybody that's seen any interviews that BlueBoy did, most likely those was the the ones that the Guyzer did. And we'll talk about how we met or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we also gonna dig into the issue about the Vlad interview and people what they saying out here. You know what I'm saying about the interview or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play this for a second. He's about to pull up right now. Almost.
It's not just the 90s and 2000s. Yeah. So now you in the big leagues, as you say.
Yeah.
What's the different mindset that you have now?
Yeah, you know, when you go to Rikers Island, when you go in type of situations like that, when you get put in that type of situation.
And that's the guys right there. All right. Real humble brother. I met him maybe about a year ago. And for people that say that I don't know Larry Davis or wasn't around him. First of all, that's neither here nor there. Number two, everybody that was with me know that we all was in the same jail together. You know what I'm saying? This is not like something to debate about. It just shows you. Basically, I started this story about a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people ask about Larry Davis, and obviously, I got my own personal reasons to be talking about Larry Davis, and I had a couple of blogs where I did on BlueBoy. You know what I'm saying? So either way it goes, like I like to keep a neutral perspective of what's happening around here. Now, if you see that you don't have a wrench, it's because I reset the wrenches this morning. You know what I'm saying? So you might see about 3 or 4 wrenches. That's just for the people that are just coming up in here right now. All right? So if you don't have a wrench, it's nothing personal. I will put your wrench back. You know what I'm saying? Soon. Soon as I get a chance. Once I can authenticate you, then, if I know you that person, then I got you. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you get shot. Former eBay says, can I have a wrench? Let me make sure that's the real former eBay. All right. Nay will pull up in a second. You got any questions that you want to ask? You know what I'm saying? Formulate that. Let me see about. Yes. What's your name on former eBay? Just tell me the first initial of your name on IG, and I don't know if it's you or not. You know what I'm saying? Selassie, salute. Ming, salute. You know what I'm saying? Because former eBay been with me since day one. All right. Let me play this a little bit while we wait for Nate to pull up, all right? Correct.
You become either the victim or the predator. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to explain that to anybody that never been there to understand that. You know what I'm saying? But people that probably listen to this conversation will understand where I'm coming from,
Very true. I've heard people tell me they first night on the island, like it's kind of like that reality check, like I really am not going home. Like there is.
Okay, NayBoy just pulled up. You know what I'm saying? This is the brother.
Yep.
Peace.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Peace, bro.
Can y'all hear the brother? You know what I'm saying? Your camera's a little bit blurry, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I need to get one of them hats.
I got you, man. Word up. Once you come down, I got several of them. You can pull the light. Working on the lighting, bro. This is my first time, my man.
Okay. Yeah. Salute.
Peace.
I know it's a Koofy hat, man. I got a picture with one of them joints on. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Let me just introduce the people to you, who you are, stuff like that, and what I know of you, right? This is NayBoy, right? We probably met about a year ago or so. You was doing maybe about a year ago when we started getting hip to each other, I had covered a story about BlueBoy. And I think it was maybe BlueBoy and Death of a Clout Chaser had put it out, and I seen him with it first, and I thought it was him. And then you corrected me and said, "Yeah, that was my story." You know what I mean? So that we met from there. And what I really want to ask you, and I guess we could start this from the beginning. You know, like what the title says. It says how BlueBoy met NayBoy. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about our history too, you know, at some point, but let's open it. So how did you meet BlueBoy, and how did y'all come up with the idea to start doing the interviews?
Well, his namesake, let's say, I started hearing about this brother, man, 99, 2000. I started hearing about the brother, hearing physically. And, you know, just trials and tribulations, being a gang member myself at that time and knowing some of the Crips. The more reputable Crips was from like Flatbush and Brownsville. So them I knew already, you know, coming up on the streets of the juvenile system, adolescents, you know. And as time progressed, I started hearing about just a fat Spanish Crip, like, you know, that was doing all types of shit. So, and the stuff that I was hearing about him is still some of the propaganda that's being spewed today. It was the same thing. He was racist, he was this, he was that. And he happened like several years ago, he happened to land around my pops in Wendy's when he first got out the box. He landed around Pops, and Pops was like, "Yeah, you know, my man."
Yeah, what year was that?
When he landed around Pops?
Yeah. When
he had got out the box, I want to say, damn, maybe 2017, 2018, he got out the box. So he got out the box, and I was telling Pops, like, listen, you know, Pops told me that his man just landed to the spot, and he was like, yo, you know, BlueBoy landed here. He gave him like, you know, like a welcome package or whatever. I was like, BlueBoy, you being a fat Crip racist nigga? He's like, what? That dude ain't racist. He came up with us, you know, such and such. He ain't racist. So I said, nah, it's not what I heard, you know, because a lot of my big brothers, you know, that was in this blood thing, never had much. They never had nothing negative to say about him. But a couple of them did mention that they felt, you know, he was racist, or they was spewing a little bit of propaganda about him. So when I told Pops that, he was like, nah, man, he ain't racist. And in 2 seconds, he throws Blue on the phone. He like, yo, what's up, man? This BlueBoy, who I'm talking to. And I introduced myself. He said, oh, I heard a lot about you through people's Pops. And I was like, well, listen, this is what I heard about you. And he spewed all that, like, nah, that's not who I am, my man. Listen, he said, I'm gonna call you back on my phone and we're gonna build. And we start building, and you know, he starts telling me some of the things. He was spitting mathematics to me, you know, things like that. Mm-hmm. And as he's spitting mathematics, and I was proficient and still am proficient in mathematics because I grew up in that. And I'm surprised, like, wow, this dude. And I've met some, you know, Spanish guards before, Spanish Muslims, but to know that this is the dude that they claim is so racist is actually spitting mathematics and actually giving me some dates and events of some things that took place in history that I didn't know about in relation to some of the early on Damus and how he assisted some of them in some of their trials and tribulations. And we just built a relationship from there, you know, and, you know, after that, we just started building.
Okay, let me ask you something, because I haven't, you know, where do you think that room will come from? And you gotta understand, like, for people that don't understand what's going on, first of all, all right, me being Muslim, the whole sentiment is about, and anybody seen my interviews or anything that I did on BlueBoy, I'm kind of like harsh. I take the devil's advocate approach, you know what I'm saying? And I like to look at both sides. You feel me? That's so right. Yeah, so I don't just rock with somebody just because they got a name. I like to dig into the mentality. Okay, you being a black man, let me move a little bit forward, right? How hard is it for you, like today, especially after the interview you just did, how hard is it for you to defend him knowing that you're the one that's pretty much like handling him?
It's not hard, man, because, well, it's hard, but I can't say it's hard. It's not hard, but it's not like even a defense because he's a grown man, but it's just giving facts. I mean, there's the truth, there's some stuff in between, and there's just pure lies and pure made up, you know, propaganda and speculation. There's a lot of speculatory things out there. A lot of the things that being said about the brother is all speculatory. Nobody really has any concrete information.
That's what I'm kind of seeing.
He's such an honest individual. He's giving you everything, and you guys are still running with your own narrative, which is insane to me. He's giving you everything. The brother doesn't lie because he's a convict. He's not a criminal. Because he was so young when he went into prison at 16, 17, so he didn't have a long standing career as a criminal. He's a convict, you know what I mean? And he lives by convict code. And when you do 40 years in the prison, anybody who do time know that individuals come from a certain cloth, the 70s, 80s, certain 90s. Those individuals come with a certain code of conduct with themselves, which lying is not correct. Just saying things that you cannot do. They don't do things like that, these individuals. So why would you not believe in individuals?
Where do you think the race angle come from? Because I'm gonna talk about some of the other shit too. But I really want to get. I'm really trying to understand why
the race angle.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I'll tell you. I mean, BlueBoy told you himself. He was a part of a organization called the Machacheros, and the Machacheros have had some clashes and run-ins with some 5%ers and things like that in their early on things. And he was just a part of that. And that's just what happens. And he's Spanish. And the Spanish element in New York City, as far as the prison system, we all kind of attribute them to be, racist. So once they know he was a machachero and he's Spanish, a lot of times they just stigmatize him as being racist, but there's no concrete proof that he was outright and overtly racist to black people.
Yeah.
And everybody would say that because brothers bidded with him, so they know.
Yeah. What's up? Let me ask you something, right? Like, what's some like tell me some regular things of like you did time, you did bid,
yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Nay, what's some of the regular things like that you looked at that made you what's some of the things that you think that he's enjoying right now after? Because I never met nobody that did 40 years.
Right, is that? Well, the brother he likes to go shopping. The brother likes to just be outside. He likes to look at the different beautiful women that walk past. The brother loves his aunt's cooking. You know what I mean? He loves just being able to, go to sleep anytime he wants. Very simple shit. Like, he uses this. He's learning how to use a cell phone even more now. He used to get a little frustrated in his first week, but he's getting around that because he was using the tablet on the end part of his bid, but now he's just learning different things. And the brother is just out here with his kid, man. He got 2 sons, grandson. He's enjoying this freedom right now. You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. Oh man.
I'm ready for you, brother. I know you got some questions. Just let me just go at them. I'm with you.
You know why? I don't want to give them everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want to. And then also too, I don't want them to be able to detect like what type of direction we're gonna go in. I'm really trying to just stay light and kind of answer like I feel like whenever it comes down to a Spanish dude that's a hitter or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you rock with him, there's a lot of defense you gotta give to him because automatically he racist. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it
I don't denounce that there's some real racist Spanish individuals because I've encountered them. I would never denounce that. I'm just talking about BlueBoy in particular, but there is some racist Spanish individuals that I've encountered and that I can understand where the whole aspect of all of them being racist. I understand where the ideology of that comes from because I've encountered a lot of them myself personally. So I understand that aspect of individuals not being too trusting of Spanish individuals, particularly the Puerto Ricans in the early part. Now it's the Dominicans, but I can understand that.
Well, just to answer your question, or thank you, Tash. Take your time, Mac. You got this, son. Yeah, you know what? I mean, this because I know Nay and we spoke. You know what I'm saying? And we tried to plan a few things. What actually happened is last time I was supposed to meet with Nay, you know what I'm saying? They shot a video shoot up that I was at.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I ain't get to the city. Well, we definitely we're supposed to link up. The thing is also too, I'm trying to be careful of what I say because you got to understand there's a certain amount of people out here that's not going to understand nothing that about what we saying. You feel me? They're not going to understand. and mostly because they don't know Blueboy. You know what I mean? And the first thing they hear about is him killing Larry Davis. You know what I'm saying? So my thing. Let me ask you this, and you don't got to answer this, but do you think that the initial interviews with him could have been a little bit more? Would you think people would have accepted it more if he wouldn't have spoke about Larry first thing?
So you said if I don't understand. You're saying people would have accepted it more if he would have started speaking about Larry?
For instance, right now, like people giving him a lot of steam about being a racist and then he killed Larry Davis and all of this stuff, right? Do you think that if he was approached at a different angle, it would have got a different result?
I mean, we've been doing interviews like 3 years, like I said. We've already covered a lot of. I'm not big on controversy, so there's some things that I might have left out purposefully, like more the details and stuff like that. That's just not the direction we was going in. But we've already touched on Larry Davis 3 years ago, myself and him, prior to him even coming to, and then we revisited just because he came home and we needed a visual, and then Vlad got to his interview, but we've already touched on it, and I think it is a sensitive subject for Bronx individuals to be upset about Larry Davis. And a couple, just New Yorkers, period. Individuals outside of New York is a little different, but I can understand that. But like I said, we touched on it 3 years ago, and they had time to attach themselves to that then. So when Vlad come out, of course, he's a bigger platform, and he was slightly a bit more detailed, but the proof is important. He already done it, and he's been on the internet for 3 years now. So
okay,
I'm wondering where's individuals' energy coming from.
What do you think they're gonna what are you gonna do with his story? Like, what's going to be the because YouTube is the beginning. You know what I mean? And we have a society here that's like kind of untapped, but right. that corporate is a little bit different. I think what I'm saying. Like, what do you think the plans is moving forward with Blueboy? You know what I'm saying? And how do we clean his image up? Like, how do you clean that up? Like, for the people.
Well, at this point, right, before we get to me, just the original reason I reached out to you, because I got a lot of love and respect for you. That's why I want you to know. First and foremost, I came to you, just to vent and to come here, and just because I'm the one who introduced Blueboy to the internet, and I don't want to be the one to leave him out there in a way where I'm not at least saying some things, because now that he's out there, he's home, and there's individuals attacking him. I just felt the need to just just touch upon a few different things, because I'm hearing a lot of stuff that's outlandish about him. You know what I'm saying? But moving forward, he already said that he's not necessarily going to be doing a lot of interviews. He's not going to be reliving that story. There is going to be some documents, a documentary. There's going to be some books, but it's going to be in totality of his life, his upbringing. Of course, Larry Davis will be touched on just in general. And maybe some, depending on what's going on, we may do some other things in collaboration with, friends and family of Larry Davis. If he was to make any money off of it, anything like that, I'm not saying that that's what's happening, but there's a lot of possibilities besides tearing him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think how do you feel like, like I'm pretty sure you can't gauge this type of like you can't predict what will happen, but what do you think if like with the family, with Larry's family ever get with him, like, what I'm saying, and speak to him? Or
it could happen. Anything's possible, man, but I don't know. I've never asked that question because it's hard to ask somebody, listen, would you want to sit with the accused killer of your loved one? That's something that's really difficult. And plus everybody had a chance to submit their victim impact statement when he went up for parole. It's public information. And with the way this internet is going and the way some of these guys are questioning this man's release, it seems like they would have kind of, submitted a victim impact statement and said he shouldn't be home. These individuals. And that's really what's disturbing to me, that there's individuals that's supposed to be gangsters, thugs, prisoners themselves. The one rule is, listen, if that man is going up for parole or his freedom is there, as long as he's not ratting and he's standing up, listen, you handle everything else in the street. Don't ever question the man's freedom and ask why or she should not be. Like, that's
I almost feel like some people like I do like I like playing with the conspiracy game and shit like that.
And that's cool, this conspiracy game, but never question a man's freedom and why he's home.
It started to look like motherfuckers be wanting a nigga back in jail or something.
They do. It seems like that. Because they're saying it blatantly. Like, yo, why is he home? How is he home? Like, you don't question a man's freedom if you know he stood down. I mean, if he would have got knocked the first day, he's home in 72 hours, you have a conversation about that. But when you stand and walk down 40 years, how are you questioning the man's release? There's no way possible. No real brother is questioning another man's release after 40 years. That's not even possible.
Let me say something, right? For the people that feel like me being Muslim by default, I'm supposed to be mad at BlueBoy for another 50 years or 40 years because something happened with Larry Davis, you know what I'm saying? And regardless of my personal opinion on anything, the fact is that when Larry Davis became Muslim, I'm pretty sure somebody down the line that he got with, you know what I mean, had Muslims in their family or whatever. We can't stop a person that who's to say that. We just know this. If you die during jihad, or if you die trying to protect somebody, you know what I'm saying, then you automatically go to paradise. You feel me? But we also know that the same way BlueBoy's a Crip, tomorrow BlueBoy could decide that he's Muslim. And our doctrine, we can't stop nobody that want to become Muslim. You know what I'm saying?
Once you take the shahada, the sins are released.
Once you take shahada, you cannot be touched. Period.
Understood.
This is our religion. So regardless of what y'all think y'all know about Islam, I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's almost like if somebody gives you peace, you got to give them peace. If you don't give them peace, no matter what you want personally, if you don't give them peace, you're going against the grain. You feel me? You can't ride down with somebody that wants peace with you. It's obligatory that you give them peace. So y'all need to stop quoting Islam like y'all know Islam. You know what I'm saying? Or at least do your homework before you start committing to some of this dumb shit y'all be talking about. You know
and I can understand if the Muslim community was outcrying about Larry Davis's death and kind of, you know, attempts on BlueBoy's life, I guess. I can understand that. You know, individual, and I can understand people just being mad because Larry Davis went out with the police. We all saluted that. We still do. You know, it's just that you know, he just happened to have some individualized issues with another individual like BlueBoy, and they had whatever they had, and things went where they went. We're not championing. We're not championing BlueBoy for the killing of Larry Davis. He's an overall stand-up man. He just so happened to get into an altercation with an individual with a big name like Larry Davis. So it's not, everybody's not championing him. Oh, this is the dude. They may say this is the dude to kill Larry Davis, I guess, for the effects of it, but he's championed for a lot more. And if you ever ask the individuals that are championing him, they will tell you why they see him as a stand-up dude. And 80% of it is nothing to do with Larry Davis.
And from what I heard, that wasn't the only body he caught. But let me ask you something.
And it was not.
For the people,
you know, in prison, that was not the only body he caught.
For the people that say that Larry Davis was his target, you know what I'm saying? I present the argument that if Larry Davis was his target, he would have went to bang him out first. He went to, you know what I'm saying? Like he went to bang somebody else out, and then he hit Larry, and then he went back for the dudes, and then Larry. See, the whole thing is that you got to understand that if you paid to hit a target, you go for that target. That's what you go for. So I'm having a problem, you know what I'm saying, with that right there.
That theory right there, let me talk about that theory. Listen, anybody that's been in prison or any setting know that one, it's very hard to cap, you know, because there's always somebody watching, there's always some events that, you know, is being replayed by other individuals that was around. So there would be, BlueBoy wouldn't have a leg to stand on saying that he was going after a rapo when there was other people in the yard witnessing this. Police were witnessing that. It's all in the transcripts that you know, went to court. So all of this is actual facts. It's not like he's just getting up there and then there's no history to trace it. You can actually pull this stuff up and it'll tell you his intended target, the other individuals that were involved, and how Larry got involved. So all of this is actual facts. Now, he would have, you know, went directly for Larry Davis. It shows and it says who he was intended to go for and how Larry got involved, because that other individual didn't die. So he made statements as well. So it's definitely there. Everything is presented. So individuals making up this stuff, it's kind of like crazy because paperwork doesn't lie. So when an individual start making that stuff up, that's how you know they're only doing it for clout and propaganda reasons.
You know,
Now,
you know what I would like to do? I think we was talking about this too. I like to know regular shit about the nigga that did 40 years. How about I take the name off of you and I ask you something simple, like simple shit, because at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest story is the fact that he did 40 years. And also, you know what I mean? Like, how do you feel? Like, how does he feel? Because I think that my biggest problem was when he was describing how Larry was on the floor, like doing like the dead cockroach thing. That invoked a kind of like emotion. I'm just being honest. It invoked an emotion in me to make me want to, like, you know what I'm saying, like have an opposing view against him. You know what I'm saying?
You thought it was a racist point, like being cockroach?
Race ain't never entered my mind. But what it was because I'm Muslim, right? And even though when I was locked up with Larry and Wendy, a lot of people was like Muslims too. I'm telling you, man, I don't care what these people was out here talking about. I'm telling you firsthand, there was a lot of brothers disrespecting Larry. It was almost like they was clowning me for talking to him. You know what I'm saying?
I never met Larry. I don't know nothing about the brother, so I'm taking your word for it. And I heard similar things.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, right? So there was a different consensus of whether he was really a Muslim and all that. I just know this. You know what I'm saying? That's how I met him as a Muslim. That's how I knew him. Some people knew him as a good dude. Some people knew him as a weirdo. With me, he showed love every time he seen me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You feel me? So when it comes down to it, you have a lot of people that I felt like the way he was describing that, it invoked some type of emotions in me. It made me feel like, okay, I gotta ask him this. Did you enjoy what you did, or do you enjoy killing the shit like that? Or was it just because that's the environment you come from and that's what you had to do and that's how it's coming out?
Listen, in life, right? You think about a brother, you know, I'm 40 years old, right? 1981 is when I was born. He was in prison he's in jail in 1982. So you got to think about what has he seen, what has he experienced since 1982, in and out of these nasty prisons with cockroaches, with roaches, getting familiar with things like that in them boxes.
I used to make my roaches fight in Attica.
What you say?
I used to make my roaches fight each other in Attica.
And that's your unique thing. I've never been in that type of environment, so I don't know, man. But what I'm saying is, you gotta visualize what his reference points are. So him saying cockroaches, he might have been playing with. I don't know if he was, but I'm just saying though, being in them boxes, you see cockroaches die. They're big and they be on their back and they can't move. So you know he might be thinking that way. And that's the only reference point he could have had based on his prison experience. You see, people are not
like button, y'all. Hit the like button.
People are not understanding that this man did 40 years and he went up north before cell phones, before Wi-Fi, before a real computer. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd been up in prison before all this stuff. So he doesn't really have much references to draw on if he needed to make a reference. What is he going to equate that to? Like he doesn't. What else equates to that when he's been in prison for that long? And he's been in solitary confinement for a large number of those years based on some of the events that he did. So he's been in a lot of dark, lonely cells for a long time. Yeah. And he was left to his thoughts. So people are attacking that man, not really looking, especially the prisoners, the individuals who don't know, never been in jail, never did no box time. I can understand that. But the brothers who did all that, it's weird that you guys even making comments knowing what it's like down there. Like, so that's how I know you're only doing it for views. You're trying to turn yourself into a civilian in order to get views. And if that's how you got to live and feed your family, kudos. But when you get called out on it, it's crazy. Like, because you making up crazy shit and you know what it's like down there. Like, you bugging out. Like, these dudes are making up crazy.
You know what? I think that we got a lot of dudes that came home that's doing a lot of puto shit out here, a lot of puto tactics that they know they wouldn't be accepted up north
at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as long as you don't get caught up in that. Remember we was talking about earlier about the emotions from the comments. As long as you get past that and stick to your purpose, you'll be fine.
I'm only here for that, just to listen. My other thing with the racist thing is, right? They like, yo, One brother say, "Oh, he went against the UBN because he didn't like what the blacks were doing." Listen, BlueBoy had a strong enough name in 1998 where he could have strengthened the Spanish gang community, his presence, his energy. He could have just joined them. He could have
Yeah.
just strengthened he could have started his own Spanish gang and could have been a force against the homies. However, he decided to join Crip, a black gang, you know what I mean, that was already dealing in destruction amongst the people anyway, but he decided to join in it instead of like building his own gang to go against it. He just wanted to get in the mix in a sense. It ain't like he wanted to like totally destroy blacks. He wanted to get in the mix. So that's how you know it was an isolated gang situation and not a race thing, because he would have just strengthened the black gangs, the Spanish gangs. He was already in tune with the Latin Kings, the Yetas, the Montichetos, the Rat Hunters. They all love that dude. So he could have just, you know what I'm saying, strengthened them. So that's how you know he had no real racial undertone, or he would have just went that route, because that's what everybody else did. That's what the blacks did. That's what the Latin Kings did. They kept it, you know what I'm saying, racial. He just jumped in the mix of it and backed his knife out and did his thing. So the whole conversation of him being racist and just hating blacks in power, you got to dispel that, because if that was the case, it would be very valid for him to start a Spanish gang to go against them. Because they do shit like that.
That's a solid fact. That's a big
fact. These dudes is talking like, how did he care? Well, what was he racist against? He jumped in the mix of it. Actually, he might have just, like he said, he was involving himself in other people's business, and it just got out of hand. He turned Crip. That's it.
Let me slow it down for a second. Let me give him two instructions. First and foremost, hit that like button, man. Pay your fare, puto. Y'all here? If you're not a troll, put some pressure on the like button. I got the Guyzer at the bottom. Subscribe to the Guyzer channel. Been rocking with bro for about a year. You know what I mean? We're both super busy. It'd be hard to get up, pause. You know what I'm saying? But we here. I need y'all to put so much pressure on that like button and show some love so they can push this message out. You know what I mean? One. Number two, let me get in the comments real quick and see what people are saying. Let me just start from salute to y'all that get back to Mard. Tomorrow working. Okay. People don't understand that some people just tick differently. What the fuck others call normal isn't normal to others. Some people just have a different mentality, you know what I'm saying? And normal people can't understand. And I agree, because like when I came home, my normal was different from the free people's normal. You know what I mean? Like certain things, I had so much respect. It was part of me, excuse me. It was
that's how BlueBoy is. Yeah, that's a fact. He's still that way. I lost that a long time ago, but he's still that way.
Now, another thing, if you don't got a wrench and you have one early, it's because I reset the room. You know what I'm saying? So I'm authenticating everybody. While he's talking, every time I take my screen off, I'm doing research and finding out if this is the real pages. All right, we got to keep this interview flowing at the same time. I got to keep security going. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, G is Gemstone's new boo-boo. Any questions for Nay? Get inside the comments, y'all. All right, ask what you got to ask. That way you ain't got to assume. All right, King. Thank you. Well, jump straight in the mix. No black and brown. Red. I mean, I feel like any urban hero gets that put on it. The whole thing is this: when truth don't work, just tell lie. You know what I'm saying? In this world that we in right now, you know what I mean, with the internet, where I have no reason to defend BlueBoy. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing shit for me. You know what I'm saying? This is just my honest, you know what I mean? Like my honest inquiry as to what the fuck.
Well, what you defending? What would they be saying we defended him against? He's self-admitted. He was convicted for the murder. He served his time for it. There's no praise. There's no nothing. He's just a man that
lies. You gotta understand. Like I said from the beginning, we defending lies. You wanna know why? Because if you haven't seen the police give that man 25 or 15,000, whatever, the so-called put that work in. If you wasn't there with him, and most people was never physically around BlueBoy. You know what I'm saying? A few that was never said nothing bad about him, and they mostly black.
Yeah, but why would an individual who's been oppressed by I was talking to my man Wise earlier, why would individuals who was oppressed by the system at that time for longer than 30 years, and he would just take 15,000, which is not even a lot of money for a potential life sentence, to kill Larry Davis, you know, and all praises due to that man, to kill that brother and still get 10 years in the box, still get denied This brother got denied to go see his mother, who passed away in like 2011. Shortly after that, and they didn't even let him leave. They thought he was too violent. Now, if he was in favor or in the pocket of some type of big politician that paid him to kill Larry Davis, then he would have had a lot more favors. He was stuck in a dungeon of Southport D Block. He never had no special perks, no special meals. He wasn't disappearing for like 5 hours, going to have sex with officers. None of that. He was down there with the regular individuals for 10 plus years as a result. And he got denied to go see his mother the last days, to be buried. So he ain't get no perks off that. Right? Nothing he got was a perk. That just is what it is. COVID happened. He got 40 years in. He was a much more threat to the facility, and I'm even talking about him killing nobody. Is that a lot of individuals were trying to get their name up off him, so everywhere he landed that wasn't like cool spots, they was trying to rally against him, to come at him. So in a sense, the state.
Well, Tash says, let's entertain this for a second, right? Tash says, tell son to stay off the internet. He will be good, and a change of scenery will be a unique move for him. Whatever happened for a reason. My vibe's the same on all channel. Love is love. I think that it is. I think it's time to bury that too, man.
That's
and then
true.
once you get past that, we can really find out who he is and stuff like that, and then we can see, the story unfold like that.
We're not doing much more interviews about like Larry Davis and that situation. That was like the last of it. It may come out in a documentary or a book, but there will be no more YouTube and explaining it and none of that. That was the last of it, because that's what that was his truth. He needed to get that off. He got it off. It's very unfortunate that if some people got offended, like his family or even just regular people, but that is the last of that will be spoken about on that level. There is some other positive things to come, some other funny things to come, but all of that, Larry Davis stuff is all that's kind of done, man.
It says, Miss G said the Guyzer. I don't know if you are aware how grateful we are to have. I need y'all to go subscribe to this Guyzer too. Let it reflect in this, because you know what, I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? The reason why, like, what my personal reason, right, of why I really started rocking with Nate was that I seen that he was the only one that had access to BlueBoy, that BlueBoy would talk to. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was like it was just a homeboy conversation. It wasn't doing a bunch of content. Your channel's not filled with all this YouTube street shit.
Nah.
When it's time for us to meet up, you sent me the address to a restaurant. You said, let's go sit down and make some silverware clink.
That's how I'd like to do it, man. The great men discuss things over food, man. Wine and pasta, that. Regular stuff. And I don't even drink, but that's the best thing we could do. I'm not into controversy because, I come from a tough neighborhood. I come from a tough environment. So I wouldn't want to put this type of controversy on the internet. That's not what was the original reason to get BlueBoy even talking, just to get his spirits up. Actually, I seen the YouTube thing going on. So I just, took a few different lanes just to keep that man's spirits up. That man been down so long. I wanted to perk that man up, man. Like, just to get him out there, and I start seeing.
Do you get like a child? Do you get like a child feel out of him when you see him react to shit?
No, I mean, I do. I understand what you're saying. I'll tell you a funny story, man. This is how it happened, man. Just recently, me and him went to a bunch of different places because he like, yo, man, I need some slacks, and we went to a bunch of different places just trying to get the man some slacks. He a little hefty young man, so we were just running around trying to find him some slacks, but he don't like tight shit. So I'm always like, listen, my man, you got to get out of the 80s or 90s. You got to get you some tight shit on, like, because we looking for a 44 fucking
big, tight back then too, man.
Yeah, that's what I told him, man. He like, no, he don't think that's tight. So we looking for like a 44 fucking large. It was crazy, like, so we back and forth. He's like, nah, my man, I ain't with this new stuff. I need these hemmed. I didn't even hear the word hem in a while. You are like, I said, bro, man, you gonna waste your time going to a cleaners getting these pants hemmed. Nobody do that shit no more. Just, you know what I'm saying? But we ended up getting them some pants from Macy's that suited him, and it wasn't too tight, wasn't too baggy. Because I wasn't having my man looking like the Puerto Rican Steve Harvey. You ain't doing that.
You know they're gonna tear me up for all my opinions, but you know something, I stand on whatever the fuck I say, and at the end of the day, when y'all talk about real Muslim and fake Muslim, this is the only part of me that's really real, is my heart. You know what I'm saying? And my heart is like this, man. You know, if the doors was closed to me after all the foul shit I did to Muslims and people that was related to Muslims, man, I would have never been able to take my shahada. We believe that once you take your shahada, you become Muslim. Not to say Blue Boy's ever going to take the shahada. The point is that you can't kill the option by being a bitter ass motherfucker and don't even know
what they saying in the comments. I'm not seeing them, but what they saying.
They said no matter what all of us have to say about his interview on Vlad, Blue and Larry obviously had a serious issue with each other that it had to go to that level. Can't expect a man to have sympathy with it. Gemstone,
man. Yeah, we ain't really gonna be talking about that too much in the future, but he gave y'all everything that happened, man. He's not gonna.
I think in the comments, the general consensus is that it is what it is. It happened, let it go past, and that's my.
That's a fact.
And I think that's where we started at. Like this.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, since he's been home, though, he was in Queensbridge. He went to talk to the youth in Queensbridge. He did his thing. His man and them invited him out there. We got a big conference coming up in April with one of the big homies from my neighborhood, my man Nuke, OG Nuke. He got something going on where everybody got to stop the violence summit. That's in April. We going to that. He just left Crossroads Detention Center in Brooklyn. Him and my sis Solo Charm, the homeboy Daddy O, they went down there.
I like her. I like her too.
Yeah, that's the people's though. So she part of the team. She deal with Blue. She got her own thing locked in, coming in, loped in. I think it's loped in or locked in. That's her channel. She rocking. Go check her out, Solo Charm. But what I'm saying is he just left Crossroads. Him, Solo Charm, another big homeboy Crip dude, Daddy O. They was talking to the youth. They sat down in front of these youth. Man, listen, this is what I did.
How the children react to
them? I don't know if you ever been to juvenile before. Like I did a lot of time in juvenile, and I was an ignorant juvenile. So they did right. They was paying attention, but it's more so, them with juveniles is like they need like a harder life lesson. But they jacked it. They was listening to the brother.
Hit that like button.
Them they need a little harder life lesson than anybody, and they got to realize because they so disconnected. Blue did 40 years, so they heard of them, but they so disconnected to the adults. It's like hard, man, to really kind of reach them on one sitting. You need some consistency with them,
Yeah.
Especially the juveniles of today, because all of them be coming down for attempts, shootings. They down for some violent shit, so they feeling themselves.
Let me ask you something though, a personal question, which I always wondered about you. What other type of content are you interested in doing, bro? Because you got a sentiment that's a little bit different than us. You know how to hold your composure a little bit better.
I got an interview coming up with a female bodybuilder, African American female bodybuilder, Black women in fitness. I'm about to sit down with my man C-Class from Let's Go. He got the web series coming along, and I like to do my thing at dinner. That's why we call it breaking bread. Because I like to eat, bro. And we sit down, we have dinner. We have a
couple of food shows lined up, man.
Yeah, and we have a conversation, and that's what we do. So whenever you're ready, we can sit down. I'll take you to some of my favorite spots. We rock it out. I got the idea from my man St. Laz. He be doing little food content. That's my bro from my neighborhood. He's from Brownsville. I was on his show. He's from down the block from me. I'm from Park Place, Saratoga, Prospect Plaza area. He's from Howard Project.
You from the Ville?
Yeah, born and raised. That's a fact. So I got a lot of that from him, and then that's really what I like to do. I mean, Blueboy is just the person that started my channel because he's the first person that I even decided to do it with. So I call it me and his channel. So I'm not just interested in super thugged out gang members and all that because I know a lot of them, and a lot of that shit don't even be impressive. Like I know that. So I'm not saying that there's not some that I wouldn't want to sit down and talk to. Like I'm trying to get one of my mans. That. One of my guys, my son Disco, even though he had his trials and tribulations on the internet, his story is very interesting. My man Disco Baller, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? I want to get him down. We working on something. I'm trying to get him, but
I like the way they pieced it up on
yeah. Disco good, man. His energy is always high energy, but when you really tap into that brother, he a good dude, man.
I'll tell you one thing, for me looking on the outside end, he honest. I need them likes to go up to about 70.
His energy is up, man. But I'm trying to get a story on him and Blue is my uncle forever and a day, man. I got it's out. It's beyond the internet with me and Blue. So it's
I think the way Blue, I think the way he addressed it, because I think it was on Behind the Bar. I know not behind.
No,
the bar.
that was Moshe in it. That was Moshe. That was Mikey B. Yeah, Soul B there, Shaquell. All the legends was there.
It was like the way they received him from the ones that actually know him. It was different. It was a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? But how do he feel like, you know, like doing blogs and all that? And
Blue?
Yeah.
Never really discuss, I don't even know, because we never really discussed it, like, you know, but I mean, we get very soon we're gonna discuss how we're gonna move forward with just doing some things and generating some things, because there's a lot of potential in this YouTube thing. He understands that there's gonna be backlash, so he's afraid of that, because mentally he's still, you know, kind of institutionalized in a sense where everything is on point in the prison system. It's hands-on. So even though you might be on the gate talking crazy, just one day you might pop themselves together and you might be able to kick a dude in his ass while y'all got the cuffs on, something like that. But in the streets, it's so very difficult to even do that. So he's learning, like you said, to like tune out all of the negative, because he doesn't understand like where these people even coming up with some of the shit that they say about him. He's really lost about that, you know.
Well, because the truth is, you know, the lie is better than the truth out here. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
We just make. I mean, I watched some stuff. I just watched some other things. They just making shit up, and it's just crazy.
It's all good. Let me just, you know what I mean? When the truth ain't good enough, let me just, you know why? Because the lie will be formulated in 5 minutes, but take you a whole year to fix.
That's a fact. Yeah. And this ain't here to, like, you know, praise Blue for doing any killings or anything like that. He served his time for it. He served more time than some of the YouTubers been alive. So, you know, it's just real rap. He's home. You know, he's understanding of what he's done. You know, in the way Vlad asks his questions, it's just the way he asks his questions. It's just how Vlad does it, man. And
you think Vlad is a culture?
At times, yeah, and I say that, and I call him a culture vulture just because this isn't his culture. He's not connected to these stories of these people, but he is a white individual that has access in the capability to just make his channel the way it is, because he's not invested in like beefing with other YouTubers and fighting with them like we are. We be trying to like go back and forth, tear each other down, wild out, do all this extra shit that's gonna go nowhere, where he just takes it and move. He uses it and move forward with it because he's not invested in the street. His principles are not like ours. If you say something to us, tell us suck your dick, we want to fight, you know, stuff like that. So none of that bothers him. So this is not his culture. So I would just say he's coming here for a purpose. And if that's considered a vulture, yes, he's coming to this culture for a purpose. He's getting the stories. He's utilizing them. He's spicing them up in the way he wants to, and he's selling them back to the people. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. You can't knock it. That's just how it goes.
I mean, we the consumers, we love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how it is with finance. That's how it is with fashion, food, anything. Like black people would love it coming from somewhere else. So somebody throw some Gucci on a regular fucking t-shirt and then go buy that shit for like $1,000. But when they come out with some Mac Mean with the Guyzer t-shirts, they be like, "Oh, niggas is crazy, them bum ass t-shirts. I ain't paying $100 for that shit." You know what I'm saying?
You know what they want to pay $100 for them? Huh? They'll pay $100 for them puto shirts. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Don't be a puto. Them niggas that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that. That's what I mean. So, you know, it's just like that with us, man. Like we just don't really support. So maybe one day we'll get to that, because we got access to these individuals because they from my neighborhood. Like I said, I've been doing BlueBoy for 3 years. I ain't never really get this level of attention when I was doing it like that. I got some, but the way it is now. But once Vlad do it, the platform is bigger. So now it's like, you know, they starting to pull from it. You know, I've been doing this.
But do you think that in that regard, do you think they a vulture? Because you got to think about the money generated, right? Okay, think about it like this, right? I counted more than 1 million views already.
From Vlad?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, let's go through it. Let me just show you something. You mind? You got time?
I got time.
All right, check it out. Let's just go to the Vlad. All right. Kumba, you got authenticated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else that got their branches now, I had time to authenticate you. We're going to go to Vlad. Oh, boy. I'm going to show y'all what I'm typing as I'm typing this. So I'm going to share my screen with y'all. Let's go over here. And I'm gonna show y'all how the money works, y'all, just so you can know. Bingo. Here we go. All right, do y'all see this? Let me make it a little bit bigger for the turkeys. Excuse me. You know, Thanksgiving. I'm doing this for you turkeys. Okay, let's go to the channel, Vlad. And let's go to videos. Now, show y'all how this works. Now, remember this number, y'all. And anybody that's good with math, please help me. Let's just say Vlad's CPM is $15, right? CPM means cost per mile, people. All right, cost per mile. So every 1,000 views, Vlad gets $15. It's a fact.
For every how many?
Every 1,000 views. Now, let's go through the list. Let's look right here. Let's condense it to BlueBoy. We only want to see things on his channel that says BlueBoy. Right? Let me make this a little bit smaller for you turkeys. All right? This is getting 3,800 views per hour. This one that he dropped 9 hours ago. Some people can't get 3,800 views in a year, but yet now check this out. This one is getting 1,800 views per hour. Y'all see that software on there, y'all? When I say I audit y'all shit, I know what I'm talking about. All right. Now let me just show you this. Let's just make this very simple. $15 for every 1,000 views. Now this one, 107. 107 plus 76. And that's about, let's just say 170. Now this one, 270, 370, 470, 570, let's say 670, 870, 970, 1 million. And we can keep going. 200,000. It's probably, it's a little bit more than 1 million. Now, at that rate, if your CPM is $15, right, per 1,000 views, how much money would he have made just already off of this video? Y'all tell me in the comments. $15 per 1,000 views, more than 1 million views. Let's just say 1 million on a dot. How much money was generated from this video already?
Man.
Can somebody tell me?
I'm not even monetized, man.
Now check this out. Let me just do the math on my trusty notepad. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button, y'all. I need y'all to get right with the get right. $15. Let me see. Times 1 million views. 2, 3 putos. 4, 5, 6 carry 1 putos. 0, 0. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Oh nah, $15. A lot of money. There you go. Hey. How much money did he get? I don't know. You ain't got to say that out loud. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. The clock is just now ticking. He's going to get more than 10 million. He's going to make 150,000 off that shit. Easy. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Easy. And at this rate, when you look at this right here, y'all, 3,800 views per hour, 1,800 views per hour. Even the ones he did 4 days and 12 days ago, still clicking. Still clicking. Still clicking. Look at that. Everything blue. All right, that's how you do it when you Vlad. So you do the long interview, and then you break the long interview down into the small interviews. You know what I'm saying? And you just eat the whole pie. So, if you're not monetized, you need to holler at me because you probably got the requirements already.
That science is real, man. That's crazy. Those numbers are real, man. And the only reason, like I said, he was a vulture is that he comes to this culture, he gets our stories, and he monetizes them, and that's just what happens, man. You know, we give it to him, so I might not even want to call him a vulture anymore because we give it to him. He don't steal them, he gets them.
Yeah, pretty
I can't call him
much.
a vulture. I have to retract that. Let me retract that. I'm not gonna call him a culture vulture because we give it to him. So I'll retract that. I want to retract. You know, I misused the term. We give him the stories, we give him everything.
Yeah,
He
and I think that's when they say that he's racist. I think that's bullshit too. I think that
I
he's
don't
just
know, but I don't think he's racist. So I'm taking all that back because we give it to him.
he's a
And
vulture.
we give it to him because he's not a part of our culture. He's not from our culture. He's not fully understanding of our culture. So the questions that he asks is of an individual who's not fully understanding and what white America will want to hear. They want to hear the gruesome. They don't want to hear the urban, you know, fairy tale story. Or they want to go right to the. So did you have a hard life? Did you kill anyone? You know, shit like that. That's what they want to hear.
Now, New York YouTube soap operas. I don't know if you are also New York YouTube Bloods and YouTube Crips, but I'm fucking with you, whoever you is. Vlad, behind the bar, Maine says that Vlad is not a culture vulture. People pay to be on that show. You know what I'm saying? So they basically, yeah, you're giving you know what? I feel like it's a cop out to just call him a culture vulture without explaining exactly what it means, right? Like our interpretation here is that he's exploiting black people. Nah, black people are exploiting themselves, and he's finding the loophole and he's making money behind it.
That's right as that.
Let me make sure this is the real Chew for a second. I'm authenticating Chew real quick.
That's right as that. We just handed him them stories, man.
No. You don't get everybody see. Yeah, this is the real Chew. Everybody's CPM is different, right? My CPM changes. All right. Now sometimes my CPM is $10, sometimes it's $15. It depends. And it really depends on how much retention and watch time that you get. You feel me? That's it. So if you don't got a wrench on your name, you know what I'm saying, and you had one yesterday, it's because I reset the wrenches today. And if y'all don't know who this is NayBoy, aka the Guyzer. Subscribe to this channel. I've been rocking one for like the last year. You know what I mean? We've been hit and miss as far as working, but pretty much Blueboy say he don't trust too many people outside of Nate. You know what I'm saying? So
that's big bro right. That's my uncle right there, my Puerto Rican uncle. I got a lot of love for him. It's bigger than this internet shit, so we don't really like, you know, base our relationship off the internet. You know, to be honest, man, I asked him the question like, listen, did you ever think he was coming home? The brother said no. I didn't ever think he was coming home. I just figured, like, you know, to the sun burnout, we're gonna do the best we can to hold him down, keep his name alive. I was content with that. Because, you know, I don't see too many dudes coming home from the type of shit that he came home from. So by the grace of Allah that he came home, I had to cherish that and respect that, you know, and I had to honor that man no matter what. He ain't rape, he ain't rat, he ain't do none of that. He did the same thing these dudes rap about on drill music, regular music, same shit that these dudes rap about doing, killing, you know. Because if he would have said that Larry Davis story over a hot drill beat, they would have been playing that shit through their ops hood, fronting, smoking on a pack. He ain't do none of that. He just detailed the events and people in their feelings, like they don't listen to trap music, like they don't promote some of that bullshit that's going on in the streets right now. Like, we just got to stop it because they know he an older gentleman, he on the internet, so they want to say something.
Okay, all right. Well, hood too. You know what? You can say what you say without being every capital letter. It makes me think that you screaming to be seen. So I'm gonna just block you.
What he said?
He said dumb shit. He said basically Blueboy took money to come home and we playing dumb. You know what I'm saying? I gave you I showed you love when I timed you out earlier. You didn't take the message, so now this all out blocked you. Now you make about 789 putos. No, he's interrupting the flow. You see where H. You see, I'm not talking about what we want to talk about no more. I'm talking about somebody that had a block. So that's why he got to go, because we can't disturb what we trying to do to entertain Blueboys. You know what I'm saying? Stop hating on the man. He gets good interview with real people. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that was for me or against me. It doesn't matter. The point is, you know, I feel like we got most of the questions answered. You know what I'm saying? And before the trolls really put their feet up on the couch, we about to get up out of here. But I did ask need one of them hats. I ain't seen one in like 10 years.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I go right down to Medina, all down on Atlantic and Fulton. I go all down there and get these hats, man. On Fulton Street, you know, in Atlantic by the Barclays, they got a couple good little side stores that I go to. Get my incense, get my cones, get my sage.
I'm heavy on the cones. I'm heavy on the cones.
Yeah, I got a bunch of boxes today, man.
Yeah, and I brought the sage. I got sage for the whole year. I just be passing it out. Anybody come to my house, like here's a bush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got a bunch of that. That's how I live, man.
Yeah, me too.
And I appreciate the platform, brother. Just, you know, I appreciate the insight on them, the education on them numbers with the whole, because it's crazy. Like I got family, like my son's mother, other people. They've been talking crazy to me about like the interviews and how I let people just repost them and do crazy shit. And because I'm not really worried about the numbers, but when I start seeing $15 per that shit is like, damn, am I missing out on something?
You know what you need to do,
Am I missing out on something here, man? That's how I'm feeling.
Let's look at your channel. Let me audit your shit real quick. Watch this.
No, because I'm losing something here.
Okay.
Because I don't get those type of numbers, man. And if I did, one Blueboy interview got like 100,000, the older ones, and I ain't never get no money off that.
Watch this. Let me show you something. It's not just about views, it's about retention and watch time. And I'm pretty sure you got a lot because most people that seen the interviews got it from your channel. You know what I'm saying? You got the subs already because you got more than 1,000 subs. But we're gonna look at your channel real quick. All right. Here we go. All right, about 232,000 videos. Okay. All right. Yeah, you ain't got enough videos. You know what I'm saying? But you do. Let me see the one that you're talking about.
Like the first one, like his first one, like years ago.
Yeah, you still getting 12 views per hour on this. This is like people are still looking at this video right now. It's probably jumping right now because
of Vlad.
Yeah, the stuff that's going on. But you could push this back up. The way you know if it's still jumping is go to your recent comments, right? Do shit like this, like the newest first. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 7 days ago. If you do a couple of things to this, it'll post like it's new again. You see this score right here? You got 0 SEO, search engine optimization. You want to know why? There's no tags. If you put tags on here, Vlad interview, Blueboy, you know what I'm saying? This video will jump out and probably go viral. You know what I'm saying? And you got to put channel tags. You know what you're gonna have to do, bro? You just gotta set a time up tomorrow where we can get to this.
You've been telling me that. I ain't gonna front. You've been telling me that for a minute, bro. You're right.
An hour. All you gotta do is put an hour into it, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. You definitely been telling me that. Like you just blew me. No homo. You know what I'm saying? But
I always show the back end.
Man, that's crazy.
I show them people the back end of my channel and how it works. Born from New York. King of New Jersey, Bully the Bully TV. I just did some work on the back of his channel. You know what I'm saying? I did Banky Pound's channel. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I love Banky shit. That's my guy, Banky. I subscribe to Banky.
You know, from the ground up, because when he was doing his interviews, it was the same thing like Blueboy. Like, here it is, I'm looking at a dude that did 33 years. Story's crazy. He's getting millions of views. Yeah, he ain't got a channel. So Blueboy, it would help Blueboy to have a channel right now, even if he's doing some cooking shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how Banky started. We started out with the little bricks and you know what I'm saying, the noodles, and now he's doing real cooking, and that's what they respect them for. I mean, I seen them send them aprons and, you know what I'm saying, money and anything to expedite the next move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Good. That's good.
You know, like, so it
That's
ain't
you and Banky, man.
yeah, Banky, a couple of dudes I fixed their channels up. So I'm telling you, yeah, you are dropping the bag. And your people are right. You might not be dropping as much money as you think you are, but I'm saying that there's possibility for you to reignite these interviews. Because there's a lot of things that y'all said in these interviews that he's not going to repeat again.
Right, is that?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, yeah, he's going to talk to other people like a journalist. He was talking to you like a homeboy. It's a difference. It's a difference. All right, so I'm about to get up off of this. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, Mac, you know the deal, man. I love you to death, my brothers. Truly, man. I truly appreciate you. I came to you and you did exactly what I needed you to do, man. Hold me down. Let me get this off my chest. Salute to your people, your channel. You know what I mean? And we're gonna really build.
Tomorrow, set an hour to the side and watch what I'm gonna show you. That shit's gonna be like magic. You're gonna see the difference ASAP.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow night when I'm at the gig. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow night. I got you, bro.
All right. Salute.
One love.
One love. Yeah, that's NayBoy, aka the Guyzer. Subscribe to the channel, man. Let them really see it, man. Don't get caught up in the politics on whose side, but love is love. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm really not caught up on that. I like to just play devil's advocate, and I like to entertain all the ideas. That way, later on, when people get the comments, you know what I'm saying, the comments will be more creative, you know what I'm saying? And they'll be more concise you know what I mean? Because the questions that you're going to ask has already been answered. You know what I mean? That's it. We'll talk about getting Blueboy up, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that behind the scenes or whatever. And I'll keep y'all abreast of what we're going to do in terms of that interview. You know what I'm saying? All right. So right now, about to get up off of here. Back me. True story, all stories ain't true. This one knows.